Well, for more analysis, let's go to Robert Legvold. He is a professor emeritus in the political science department at Columbia University. Professor, thanks so much for joining our program today.
Happy to be with you.
Well, first of all, our Russian troops have faced some stiff resistance from Ukrainian forces, something Moscow has acknowledged. Do you think Russia expected this, and how might this change Moscow's strategy moving forward, do you think?
I don't think they expected the level of resistance that they've gotten to this point. I mean, they knew the Ukrainians had the army they have, but I think they thought that they had such an overwhelming advantage that if they moved quickly, they could succeed and it wouldn't drag out. Now I think they are facing the prospect that this is not going to be over in a week or 10 days, that is the seizure of Kiev and the replacement of the government, but this is going to extend. And that has all kinds of implications. It has an implication for the extent to which they can control the information they're feeding the Russian public, and therefore how the Russian public, including its elites, will respond to what's going on. It'll have an effect on the military operation itself and the requirements of that operation, including this problem of logistics and sustaining a force for a period longer than that. And above all else, it'll have implications for what follows these first stages of military conflict if it turns into guerrilla warfare.
Professor, I want to talk about the international response. The UN General meeting could hold a special meeting on Monday on the conflict. This comes after the Security Council voted on a resolution to condemn Russia's actions. 11 members voted to support it. China was among the 3 countries which abstained, and Russia, as expected, vetoed it. It now goes to that General Assembly where Russia's veto does not apply. What kind of message does this send? And will it make any sort of difference in deterring President Putin?
Well, it certainly reinforces the message that within the global community, Russia is now isolated. Even its closest partner, and an important one, China, obviously has reservations about what's happened. China abstained, as you just said. It didn't vote no on this resolution. The other surprising case was India, which also abstained. But even if that underscores Russia's isolation and the opprobrium that it now suffers under in the international community, given the hole that Putin has dug, given this reckless initiative, as your reporters from Ukraine and Moscow were saying, I think it's not going to deter what he does from here on in. He is now under the control of events within the war itself.
Professor, real quick, less than a minute to go. Sanctions by the West are now targeting President Putin himself. How much difference do you think that will make going forward?
I don't think it'll make any difference. I think it'll be fundamentally annoying for him, and there will be retaliation of one kind or another in that context. The more serious, immediate new sanction that's being considered is freezing the assets of the Central Russian Bank. That's another very serious next step if that's what they do. But we're now going to be involved in an action-reaction phenomena around the sanctions we're imposing and Russia's retaliation. It's going to get much more serious.
Robert Legvold, Professor Emeritus in the Department of Political Science at Columbia University. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
My pleasure.